I'm gonna eat it like. Hi guys, I'm Vanessa, and today we're going to make gazpacho here in the Katto kitchen. So let's start. Blender, food processor, hand mixer, anything that goes broom broom is okay. And of course you just need to chop it roughly, because it's gonna blend anyways. Yeah, I think. You don't have to peel it or anything, we're going to sieve it. So you don't have to, you know, the green beads here, you don't have to take any of that away. You don't need to worry about that. And everything, it's as simple as that. You just have to cut in rough, mix it. The blender is gonna do the rest for you. So we're going to use just this bit. The green part, we're not gonna use it for this, but never throw that away because that's very, very good. It's like a herb. Okay, actually, yeah, this too. Let's use it both. And then the pepper, take a look at the pepper, so big. Not too much, just a little bit, because it can be very overpowering and you want to taste the tomatoes, and the pepper is just like a back flavor. If you use too much, then it's just, that's the only thing that you're going to taste. So for that amount, I'm just going to go with this bit. And actually, once it's blended, I'll try it, and if I want a little bit more, I'll add a little bit more. So for garlic, yeah, let's peel this, and then I'm gonna take this bit out. If I'm gonna cook the garlic, I don't mind, but when it's raw, this is very difficult to digest, and then, I don't know, like an hour later, you're gonna still feel it, that you ate garlic. So I'm gonna go with one, not too big. And then with the cucumber, maybe this much for this amount. And the rest we're gonna put it on top. Take the tips off, can be a little bit bitter. And we're gonna, I'm not gonna peel it, you could. If you don't peel it, you're gonna have a more intense flavor. So if you don't like cucumbers very much, peel it. But I am going to take out the seeds. So just take a spoon, scoop it out, something like that. Why not? And again, since we're gonna sieve it, it doesn't matter that we have the bits of the skin there. Good. I'm gonna start with a little bit of bread. Stale bread, old bread can work perfect. So if you don't know what to do with some bread that you have there, keep it in the fridge and you know that you're gonna use it for this. Salt. Tomatoes need salt, but then one bit at a time. You can always add. Complicated to take out, so just keep that in mind. Sherry vinegar. Let's start. You really want to feel the vinegar. It's not just a hint, and it's not a question whether it has vinegar or not. You really want to know this has vinegar. Yeah? And with sherry vinegar, that's great. It's just so good. That's it. So let's just try it. It's kind of mixed, but you need a little bit more. Just, got the tomatoes, the fresh tomatoes, just, it's nice. This is a blended salad. That's what it is, pretty much. More salt, more vinegar. Just gonna go in maybe 2 more tablespoons of that. And now, before adding the oil, always do that first, just to make sure that everything just starts, all the flavor starts getting in. And the oil, we're going to add it while the machine is going, because this is how you make an emulsion. If you just add it with your hand, the oil is gonna be on one side and the soup is gonna be on the other side. You need to be whisking it. You can do it by hand, but you need to be whisking it, like you're making a mayo, pretty much. We're gonna start that. smooth, silky, and that's what you want. Nice. Now we're getting there. So I think I'm just gonna add a little bit more salt, and I have it. What happens is if you at the beginning you start with too much bread and now it's way too thick, you can add a little bit of water. Or if the tomatoes don't give you enough water, then you can add a little bit of water, but not too much, because then you're going to lose all the flavor. And I recommend that you always leave some more tomatoes fresh, because if you overdo it, if you add too much salt, too much something, then you can just add a few more tomatoes and you have it saved, yeah? Just things to keep in mind. We're gonna sieve it. It's completely optional. If you want to keep it like that, you can. So I'm just gonna keep that there, doing its thing, and let's prep the garnish. It's pretty much the same thing that goes on in the soup, only that fresh on top. And what we're gonna do is cut it very thin. What I do when I want to cut very thin cucumbers, I just put it like this and just start cutting like that, very thin. The same, I don't want the seeds, because it's just gonna give me a watery mixture on top of it, so I want to avoid that. So when I reach the seed part, I just turn it over and keep cutting. The same, you're gonna have the center of the seeds, and you can add it to water, you can add it to a vinaigrette, you can add it to anything you want. I think with that we have enough. Don't throw that away. Now strips. The thinner you can cut this, the better, because it's gonna be raw on top and you want it to be delicate. Texture is part of the flavor of everything. I'm doing it like it looks kind of neat and all that, but it doesn't have to be. This is a very rustic soup, very rustic. The same with the pepper. Just gonna cut it in thin slices. It's pretty much the same. This was invented in the south of Spain, and this was because of the heat. So people were working on the fields with the sun hitting on them, and they were working on the fields of tomatoes and vegetables and all of that. So what they did was came up with a drink. So here you want a little bit of oil. So this is the garnish. Yeah. You can add some raw garlic in it if you want to. You can add onions in it if you want to, but I'm just gonna keep it with these two today. Okay, let's serve. This is ready. So, well, I'm gonna show you better the texture that I have here. This texture is what you get, first of all, because of the oil. So you see, it's not supposed to be watery, it's supposed to be very nice and silky. Now, if you want it like this, a little bit thick, that you put the garnish on top and it just, you see, it stays there, then you want to add a little bit of bread. And this consistency, that's how you do the trick, is the bread. And like I said before, if you add too much bread at the beginning, it's like, oh no, I don't even want it like this, then add a little bit of water. And if you have to add too much water to get to the consistency that you want, don't. Add more tomatoes to it. And the tomato is gonna loosen it up, but it's gonna keep the nice fresh flavor. And here I have croutons. You might say, more bread? I will say yes. The thing is that this is croutons, which is toasted. You can toast it in the oven. What I did with this was in a pan, medium to high heat with a little bit of olive oil. And you just keep it there until it's crunchy. So that will go in here. Just a nice touch to a nice soup. There you go. Okay, so this is how you make gazpacho soup. Very easy, very refreshing. Now for the summer, I hope you try it and you enjoy it, and let us know how it goes.